What if your birth month wasn't random at all? What if it was the exact moment the universe whispered, "This is the rhythm of your soul"? Carl Jung, one of the most profound thinkers in psychology, believed time itself carries a hidden intelligence. Not just hours on a clock, but archetypal energy. And the month you were born, that might just be your first cosmic fingerprint, a sacred clue to your inner architecture. Jung proposed that time, especially the natural rhythms of the year, was more than just a backdrop. He saw it as a spiritual language, speaking through seasons and cycles, carrying clues about who we are, what drives us, and even the emotional lessons our lives are here to unfold. Each month, he believed, carries an energy, a psychological current that quietly shapes the way we feel, behave, and grow. And your birth month, that was the exact moment when your soul stepped into this world, syncing with a particular tone of nature's great symphony. This isn't astrology, and it isn't superstition. It's a lens. A way to view yourself not as random, but as rhythmically aligned with something greater, something ancient, cosmic, and deeply personal. Imagine just for a second that understanding the symbolic patterns of your birth month could unlock insights into your habits, emotions, and sense of purpose. Sounds mystical. Maybe. But when you look closer at Jung's theories of archetypes, the collective unconscious, and the repeating stories found across time and culture, it starts to feel surprisingly grounded. So in this journey, we'll explore Jung's symbolic interpretation of time not as clockwork, but as a living cycle. A spiritual heartbeat that pulses through each month of the year, and how each month may carry with it a distinct emotional vibration, a hidden invitation to uncover the deeper truths within ourselves. But before we begin, if you're someone who hungers for meaning, if you're tired of surface-level advice, and long for insight that feels like soul medicine, then consider subscribing. This is a space for thinkers, seekers, and those who know that transformation begins within. Now, take a breath. What you're about to discover might just change how you see your birth month, and more importantly, how you see your story, your patterns, and the path you've been quietly walking your whole life. This isn't about labeling people, it's about illuminating what already lives within you. Let's begin with one of Jung's core insights. The universe is patterned. Time, nature, and our inner world mirror one another through what Jung called archetypes, timeless images and energies that appear in every culture, every myth, and every dream. These archetypes aren't just out there in stories, they live inside us. And through shadow work, we begin to see how these inner energies can either guide us or control us from the dark. And according to Jung, we each carry a unique blend of these energies in our psyche. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. The seasons themselves mirror these archetypes. Winter, spring, summer, autumn. They don't just shape the outside world. They echo psychological states, introspection, growth, expression, and reflection. Which brings us back to your birth month. It's not just a date, it's a symbolic imprint. A moment in nature's cycle when your soul entered this world. The atmosphere, the light, the energy, the silence, or aliveness of that season, it all becomes part of the emotional tone you were born into. Take March, for instance. A month of transition when winter begins to surrender to spring. The snow melts, the light returns, and life stirs again. Those born in March often carry a dual energy living between stillness and movement, introspection and outward expression. They feel life shifting more deeply than others. Change isn't something they resist. It's something they're attuned to. Now compare that with January or July months, where a season is fully set. In January, winter is deep and reflective. In July, summer is radiant and in full bloom. People born in these stable times often embody psychological consistency. Jung associated them with the archetypes of the sage, the builder, the organized visionary individuals who seek structure, who bring calm, and who carry the quiet strength to hold things together when life feels chaotic. For Jung, time itself isn't neutral. It has a mood, a rhythm, and even a narrative. And the point at which you were born into that narrative infuses you with a certain symbolic resonance, like a melody, playing quietly underneath your personality. It doesn't dictate your fate, but it gives you a map, a way to see both your inner light and your inner shadows more clearly, just as shadow work teaches us to confront and integrate the hidden parts of ourselves. It's not about prediction. It's about recognition. So what if that one detail you've always overlooked, the month on your birth certificate, was actually a sacred key? A door into self-discovery, because each month, through Jung's symbolic lens, connects to an archetype, a universal inner pattern. Some of us resonate more strongly with certain archetypes depending on when we were born. And by understanding that connection, we can begin to see why we face certain challenges, why we're drawn to certain roles, and where our deepest wisdom might reside. So let's explore this symbolic map month by month. From the quiet depth of January to the soul-stirring mystery of November, we'll uncover how the soul dances with time and how your birth month may reveal the hidden poetry of your path. But remember, archetypes are not boxes. They are mirrors. They don't limit you. They reflect what's already inside you, what maybe just hasn't been named yet. So if you're ready to reconnect with the soul of your own story, if you want to know how your month of birth might be quietly shaping your emotions, your choices, and your growth, then walk with us. Let's begin. In the next chapter, we'll explore January, February, and March, and the powerful archetypes Jung believed were born in those frozen awakening days of the year. What you discover may not only surprise you, it may awaken a part of yourself you've always felt, but never fully understood. January. The sage. Those born in January often carry a quiet strength. They are grounded, determined, and deeply rooted in reality. Their presence brings calm. Their wisdom feels ancient. But like all archetypes, the sage has a shadow. That depth can become heaviness. Their seriousness, a barrier, and in their pursuit of structure and long-term vision, they may forget to dance, to laugh, to let in the lightness of life. January-born souls must learn. This wisdom doesn't mean weight. It can also mean grace. Their greatest growth comes not from abandoning their depth, but from weaving it with joy. From remembering that the soul, like the seasons, must also thaw and bloom again. February, the visionary. February still carries winter's breath, but beneath the frost lies something stirring. A whisper of change. The birth of possibility. Those born in February are often dreamers, revolutionaries at heart. They don't just see the world as it is, they imagine what it could become. Their minds stretch beyond boundaries. They innovate, rebel, reimagine. But the visionary walks a lonely road. To live in the world of ideals is to feel at times painfully disconnected from reality. The visionary's test is to stay grounded while reaching for the stars. To translate vision into impact, to bring the future into the present, without getting lost in the clouds of potential. March, the awakener. March is the soft breaking of winter's grip, the return of light, the stirring of life. Those born in March are often soulfully sensitive. They feel the world in waves. There is a mystical quality about them, a sense that they're in touch with something most people overlook. They may be artists, healers, poets, or simply quiet empaths who see through the masks others wear. Jung would call them the reborn, those who emerge again and again from darkness into new light. But with depth comes danger. Their emotional tides can pull them inward into isolation or overwhelm. Their path is to honor their rich inner world while remaining anchored in the present. Their gift is in reminding us all that rebirth is possible, no matter how long the winter. April, the warrior. April bursts open with fire. The world comes alive, and so do those born within it. April-born individuals are fierce and full of motion. They carry the archetype of the warrior or the initiator. They don't wait, they act, they lead. They burn bright. Courage is their language, but like any fire, it must be tempered. The warrior can become impulsive, quick to react, or prone to burnout. Their growth lies in learning when to strike and when to stand still, when to protect and when to surrender. Their power, they ignite change, but their wisdom that lies in learning how to sustain it. May, the builder. May hums with harmony. It is a month of beauty blossom and the steady rhythm of growth. People born in May often embody the archetype of the builder or lover of simplicity. They are grounded, sensual, and rooted in what is real. They love the earth, the body, the tangible joys of life, good food, familiar routines, soft fabrics, warm company. But the builder can grow too attached to the world they've created. Change may feel threatening, disruption unbearable. Their evolution lies in this paradox. To build something lasting, we must allow it to evolve. May-born souls are here to teach us how to create with love, but also how to let go with grace. June stands at the year's halfway point, a time of light, of motion, of curiosity awakening. June-born souls often carry the energy of the seeker or the mediator. Their minds are bright, their words flowing, their hearts open. They are the question askers, the bridge builders, the ones who find joy in connecting ideas, people, and stories. There is a youthful magic about them, playful, quick, and insightful. But the shadow of the seeker is scattered energy. So many paths, so little clarity. Their challenge is to find focus without losing wonder, to anchor their search in something true rather than chase meaning endlessly. As we move from month to month, we don't just pass through time, we pass through moods of the soul. For Jung, these archetypes are not rigid definitions. They are doorways, mirrors, invitations to deeper knowing. They are not who you must be, but what you might uncover if you dared to listen more closely to your own unfolding. And now we continue onward into the second half of the year, from July to December months, that Jung believed hold deeper, more mysterious energies. The energies of maturation, of transformation, of wisdom earned not from knowledge, but from experience. July, the nurturer. July wraps us in warmth. It is a month of memory, of family, of sun-drenched evenings, and quiet tenderness. Those born in July often carry the archetype of the nurturer or protector. They are the emotional anchors, the ones who hold space for others to feel safe, seen, and loved. Their empathy runs deep, their care instinctive. But in giving so much, they may forget themselves. They may silence their own needs to keep others from hurting. The lesson for the nurturer. Self-care is not selfish, it's sacred. You cannot pour into others from an empty soul. July-born individuals shine most when they learn to protect their own inner world as fiercely as they protect everyone else's. August, the sovereign. August arrives in full bloom. It is the peak of summer, the realm of radiance, boldness, and inner fire. Those born in August often carry the archetype of the sovereign, the inner king or queen. They walk into a room and shift its energy. They don't just take up space, they inhabit it. These individuals are natural leaders, not always loud, but deeply magnetic. They lead with heart, with vision, with purpose. Yet, the sovereign's shadow is pride, control, the need to appear strong even when they're breaking. Their growth lies in learning to lead from love, not ego, to empower rather than dominate. When balanced, the sovereign doesn't rule over others, they inspire them. September. The analyst. September signals a return to order. Harvest begins. The light softens. It's a month of reflection, of refinement. Those born in September are often detailed thinkers, analysts, and perfectionists in Jung's symbolic landscape. They see what others miss. They crave clarity, logic, and a well-laid plan. They're the ones who bring structure to chaos. But perfection is a double-edged sword. The analyst can become overly critical of themselves, of others. Their pursuit of order can turn into anxiety. Their lesson: imperfection is not failure, it's freedom. Growth is found not in flawless plans, but in the grace of letting things unfold. October. The diplomat or the artist. October arrives like a painting in motion, its colors shifting, its air tender with transition. It's the month of golden leaves and softened sunlight, a time when the world itself seems to be seeking balance. Jung associated October with the archetype of the diplomat, or the artist souls who move through life with grace, empathy, and a deep devotion to harmony. Those born in this month often possess a rare gift, the ability to bridge divides, to make beauty from chaos, and to create connection where others feel conflict. They may be natural peacekeepers, artists, poets of human emotion, individuals with an innate sense of fairness and an unspoken understanding and routine of what lies beneath the surface. But harmony, when clung to too tightly, can become a trap. October-born souls may fear conflict so deeply that they lose themselves in the process of pleasing others. Their growth lies not in avoiding confrontation, but in learning to honor their own truth while still reaching out with compassion. Because true peace doesn't come from silence. It comes from courage. November, the alchemist or deep transformer. November is a descent into shadow, into stillness, into the sacred unknown. It is the month of deepening, of letting go, of returning to the soul's interior rooms. For Jung, this month held the archetype of the alchemist or deep transformer, those who are not afraid of darkness because they know that's where the light is born. November-born individuals often live through cycles of death and rebirth, not just once, but many times. They feel things profoundly. They walk through fire, not to be consumed by it, but to be changed by it. These are the ones who see through illusion, who crave truth, and who carry within them the sacred task of inner transmutation. But intensity has its cost. The alchemist's path is lonely at times, painful, heavy. The key for November's souls is to trust the process of transformation without drowning in it, to surrender, but never give up. When they do, they become some of the most powerful guides in this world. They don't just survive the darkness, they learn to lead others out of it. December, the sage or visionary teacher. December brings endings, but in those endings it also plants seeds. It is a month of reflection, of looking back over the arc of the year with wisdom and forward into the unknown with hope. Those born in December often carry the archetype of the sage or visionary teacher. There's a maturity in them even when they're young. They think in long arcs, not short bursts. They see connections others miss. They speak in stories, in symbols, in truths that linger. They may be philosophical, spiritual, even prophetic at times. Their minds soar into the future, but their hearts often ache for a world more aligned with what could be. And therein lies their challenge. The sage can become ungrounded, so absorbed in ideas that they forget the soil beneath their feet. Or worse, they can become disillusioned when the world doesn't live up to the clarity of their vision. But true wisdom isn't just knowing, it's embodying. December-born individuals are here to bring their insights into everyday life, to live their teachings, not just speak them. The Archetypes of Time, a final reflection. From the quiet wisdom of January's sage to the luminous vision of December's teacher, each month, through Jung's eyes, becomes more than a measure of time. It becomes a mirror of the soul. These archetypes are not cages. They are keys. They are not limits. They are invitations. They don't tell you who you are. They show you where to begin. And from there, it is your work to grow, to evolve, to choose how the story unfolds. Carl Jung called this process individuation, the sacred journey of becoming the truest version of yourself. Central to that journey is shadow work, the practice of facing the parts of us we've buried, feared, or misunderstood. And it is never one size fits all. It is unique, deeply personal, and wildly beautiful. When you begin to recognize the symbolic forces that were present when you entered this world, when you stop seeing your birth date as random and start seeing it as rhythm, you unlock a deeper kind of self-understanding. One that allows you to walk through life not as a victim of fate, but as a co-creator of your path. So, what does your birth month whisper to you now? What archetype stirs beneath your skin? What rhythm have you been dancing to all along, without even knowing? Perhaps now you'll look at your story with new eyes. Not because you've changed, but because you've remembered. And that moment, when you remember what was always within you, is where real transformation truly begins.